Welcome to Extraterrestrial Reality. Well, the New Jersey drone mystery continues to rage, and no one has any answers whatsoever. And there are some officials now calling for a state of emergency to be declared until it gets resolved. And nobody knows what's going to happen here, but we'll see. We'll just follow it. I'm planning on actually taking a trip there tomorrow and poke around and see if there's anything I could come up with. We'll see. Maybe I'll go out there and I'll find nothing. Who knows? Maybe I'll find something. Maybe, I don't know. I'm going to try to talk to some people, see if I can capture anything on video at night. I might be able to do a live feed while I'm there. We'll see. I don't know about that. I was working it out, and I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen. But I do plan on going out there, taking a drive to Jersey tomorrow, and check things out and see what happens. Maybe I'll end up with absolutely nothing. Maybe I'll end up with egg on my face. That's always fun. I mean, people love to see people get egg on their face too. So whatever happens, it's all good. It's all going to be good. But anyway, let's start off with some of the news today with regard to this ongoing mystery. No one knows who's responsible. No one knows. No one has any answers whatsoever. But here's an article from NPR that was just published this afternoon. Mystery drones flying over New Jersey have residents and officials puzzled. It says there is something strange happening in the skies above New Jersey, and no one seems quite sure what to make of it. Not the governor, not members of Congress, not the FBI. What they know is that starting in mid-November, dozens of drones have been spotted at night flying in at least 10 different counties across the state. What they don't know is where the drones are coming from, who's flying them, and why. The drones have been spotted above critical infrastructure, according to authorities, including reservoirs, electric transmission lines, rail stations, police departments, and military installations. Think about that. Think about all the places that these things are showing up over, and nobody knows where the hell they're coming from, who's operating them, and why are they there. Then nobody has any answers with regard to that. And you think about what the Pentagon was saying yesterday. Oh, there's nothing to worry about. It doesn't seem like they're here to anything's going to harm anyone. I don't know how they know these things. They should be able to provide some better answers than we don't know. Anyway, continuing, it says here on Thursday, the White House said that there was no indication that the drones have foreign ties, but that the investigation into the sightings is ongoing. Okay, the White House knows nothing. A United States Army base in northern Morris County has already had at least 11 sightings, Army officials said this week, several of which came even after the Federal Aviation Administration moved to temporarily restrict drones from flying overhead. In neighboring Somerset County, the FAA has also banned drones from flying over the golf course owned by President-elect Donald Trump. Yeah, you hear this, but does it matter? I mean, if you don't know who these drones belong to, who's operating them, where they're coming from, how you going to stop them from flying anywhere they want? Well, what's going to prevent them from flying over Trump's golf course, for instance? I don't know how you're going to, how you're going to stop it. Shoot them down, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, continuing, it says it's not illegal to fly a drone in New Jersey so long as the operator is certified with the FAA. Small, unregistered drones being used for recreation can be flown in unrestricted areas. But the number and mysterious nature of the sightings have left many Garden State residents on edge. So too has their size, as many of the drones appear to be larger than those that are typically used by hobbyists. So, yeah, we have still no answers. Nobody knows who's operating them. And they're larger than the ones that hobbyists use. So then who's doing it? Now, we've talked yesterday. We laid out a whole giant menu of different possibilities. The one that I was talking about, that maybe there's a secret war going on, a top secret war between the government and aliens, and they just can't say anything about it. The drones are the government-owned contraptions that people are seeing in the skies. And then meanwhile, the orbs are the alien vehicles. That could be it. No one knows. Some people say that the drones themselves are alien in nature and that the aliens are just mimicking our technology. Who knows? There are so many different theories right now. This is the problem. Speculation is rampant now. It's out of control, really. But anyway, some people believe that it's time to call a state of emergency. And here's an article from NewJersey.com. And its headline reads, "Here's where drones were reported in one New Jersey county," sheriff says. And they have a map here in this, and you can see the map of drones in Monmouth County in New Jersey. And look at this. I mean, look at all the sightings that they've been having over the past month. This is insane. I mean, there's all over, all throughout this county. It looks like. I mean, it's incredible. But anyway, let's check out this article. It says a county sheriff is joining the growing calls for a state of emergency to be declared in New Jersey until authorities can explain the scores of unexplained drone sightings over the state in recent weeks. Monmouth County Sheriff Sean Catlin released a map of the drone reports in his county over the last few days and urged Governor Phil Murphy to issue an executive order banning drone use during nighttime hours. Residents are increasingly alarmed by the surge in drone activity after dark, raising concerns about public safety and security, Golden said in a statement released by his office. We cannot wait any longer, he continued. The governor must act now, and the Air National Guard needs to step in to protect our communities. The sheriff added that he was asking Congress to immediately pass federal legislation for state police and sheriff's offices nationwide, which would enable them to address the issue head on. Golden said on Thursday morning that he'd held a virtual meeting with local mayors and county officials, including the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office, to discuss the situation and stress, quote, the importance of swift and coordinated action, end quote. The Monmouth County Board of Commissioners said in a statement on Wednesday night that they were completely supportive of Golden's call. And later on, the article says a neighboring Ocean County, Sheriff Michael Mastronardi also called for additional federal tools and training from the federal government to address the spike in drone reports. Murphy is scheduled to meet with the White House on the drone sightings on Thursday, so today. And says here, over the last month, there have been at least 3,000 reports of drones hovering above the Garden State, an FBI official said during a congressional hearing Tuesday. But officials remain unsure of what is behind the sightings. Now, there was something interesting I saw on Twitter today. It was a post from former Department of Defense official Marek von Rennenkampf. And he writes, breaking update from the Belleville, New Jersey Mayor Melham. That's his Michael Melham. After an unprecedented briefing for 500 mayors, the objects are not being detected despite the best detection equipment in the nation. The origin is unknown. Lights go dark when approached. They're flying over critical infrastructure, and they're loitering for 6 or 7 hours in the air. And as a lot of people who own drones know, that's not how it works. But anyway, let's listen what he has to say here. Here's a little snippet of video of this Mayor what's his name here? Mayor Melham speaking.
New Jersey has some of the best detection equipment in the nation, I am told. We have by far the most robust equipment, is what the state police told us. The detection equipment is up, but not detecting. These are 6-foot drones that are somehow evading our detection. They are not being detected. Here's some unknowns. And again, they were very transparent today. So some of the unknowns. The state police says, unknowns. We have no idea where they're taking off from. No idea. We have no idea where they're landing. No idea at all. We have no idea who is behind them, because as I mentioned, they are not state, and we are told it is not federal. We have no idea the drone types, as I mentioned before, that they stay up about 6 to 7 hours. And if you're a drone operator, you probably know that that's a very, very long time. We know that we've gotten close, but when we do get close, the lights have gone dark and they have left the area. And we do know that they are flying, as I've repeatedly said, they are flying over critical infrastructure like reservoirs, Picatinny Arsenal, Trump Bedminster, and our nuclear power plants.
So there you go. They don't know what's going on, and that's the really strange thing about this, is that these objects, when anyone gets close to them, they go dark and you can't see them. That's very strange. Here was another posting on Twitter. This was from alien UFO sightings. It says here, location, New Jersey, USA. Motion detected on door cam and started recording. It looks like 2 UFOs slash UAP drone-like shapes swooping over the house. It also looks like there is some kind of field surrounding both of them. Of course, I will leave links to all of these, but let me just play this video for you, and you'll see what see what they're talking about here. You can see these objects, that were captured on a security camera near a home in New Jersey. Yeah, very strange. Look at that. What are they? And this was from December 8th, by the way, 7:38 p.m. 2 objects following each other, tailing each other. They look, I don't know, like solid balls of light. I don't know what to say about it. Very, very strange. But these are the kind of things that people in Jersey, and as well as also reports from New York, as well as parts of Pennsylvania. But mostly it seems to be New Jersey right now, and these are the kinds of weird things that people are seeing in the sky. I don't know if these are drones. I have no idea what they are. Nobody seems to know what they are. Anyway, yeah. So that's where we are with this, and no answers other than people scratching their heads. That's the response we get from all of our officials, and some officials want to say, hey, let's declare a state of emergency until we figure out what the hell's going on, and that's where we are right now. Maybe things will change. I don't know. Soon, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we'll get some bogus answer at some point just to appease the concerns, the quell the concerns, rather. We might get something like that. If they don't have any answers, they might invent an answer for us. Who knows? We don't know what's going to happen. But right now, as far as we know, federal, state, and local officials have no idea what's going on or where these things are coming from, who's operating them, how they're able to stay in the sky for 6 or 7 hours straight. As a lot of people know, drones usually don't have the capability of doing that. Not hobbyist drones. And a lot of these drones are a lot bigger than hobbyist drones. So in the military, the Pentagon says it's not theirs. So then whose is it? If it's not theirs, and it's not, and they also said, as you remember yesterday, they also said that it's not Iran, it's not China, it's not Russia. So then who is it? Who is it? Well, maybe there is some sort of an extraterrestrial / NHI connection to all of this in one way or another, in some form or some shape or form. Well, we really don't know, but we could speculate because that's all we can do right now. And speaking of that, I want to bring that up right now. One of my subscribers and a friend to the channel, Sean Catlin, recently contacted me, and he posted some pictures on Reddit, and he also sent me some images of alien creatures, more alien creatures that he discovered in the video that was filmed by the Kenmore family, or that's a pseudonym of the Kenmore family in Las Vegas last year, and it's some very interesting stuff, I thought. Now, this is what he posted on Reddit. There was different images here. You see, he has a draw. He put an arrow and drew around what he's seeing here. He's seeing a head right here. And wait till you see this. This is interesting. You could now that's without his writing on there. Now you could just see this little head here. Right here, you can see an eye there, an eye there. This is the head. And what's interesting about this, and this is through the gate. What's interesting about this, just before this image, there was nothing there, as you could see. In the next picture here, he says this was just moments before the previous image, and you see that it's empty right there, and right there's nothing there. He writes empty. You go back, and you see that there's not empty in this picture. You see something there. There's something there that's not there here. And what that thing looks like, again, like I've been talking about, there's just so many instances of faces appearing, and the faces all the time appear alien in nature. They don't look like any animal. They don't look like a human being. They don't look like any sort of amphibious kind of a creature. They don't look like anything other than the descriptions that have been made over the years of what alien creatures look like. That's what it looks like. And there you go. There it is. Now, here it is. Look at it. Now you see it. Now you don't. Okay, and then there's another image here I want to show. Some more images that he has posted here. Now here, when you first look at this, you might not see anything, and then he draws around it. He's pointing out this thing here. It looks like he thinks that this could be a face here, and he might be right. But there's other things here as well. This was pretty strange. That there's the before, and then after he does the drawing, you can see it there. And I'll leave the link for this so you can check this out for yourself as well. And he says he sees something here that's another possible. Now, some of these are possible, and I think a lot of people out there who study this and who accept that this evidence is real, that some of these things it's hard to say for sure. We know for a fact, right, that there are aliens in that backyard. There were aliens captured on video, as a lot of the stuff I've been showing on this channel, and there's other podcasts out there to talk about it. We know for a fact that there's things out there. And then sometimes you might find something like this that just very fleeting, but again, it looks like there could be an eye there. wait, whoop. Let's go back. Yeah, here. Looks like there could be an eye here, an eye there, and this is the head. Okay, and let's go to the next image. Okay, here you can't really see what he's pointing out here, but then he does point it out, and he's saying that he sees an alien right here. He's saying there's an eye there, and this is he drew an outline around it. So let's go back and see. Yeah, and you can see it here. You can see an eye, like he drew. There's an eye there, an eye there. You can see its head. It's hiding behind the side of this pickup truck. See what he did here. He brightened it really by a lot, and he was able to capture some of these images. Okay, and then there's this one. Oh, let's see what he's looking at here. Yeah, he says he sees something here. I'm having trouble with this one. I don't know about this one, but I guess you could call it a possible. Like here it is without his outline around it. He's saying that there's something here, and he could be right. Let's go to the outline around it now. There you can see around that's where it could be. And then there's this. Now this one I thought was really interesting. But we disagreed. I disagreed with his initial analysis, and then I pointed something out to him, and he agreed with me, and I'll get into that in a second. So he's seeing something standing right here, and he is absolutely correct. There is an alien creature standing right here. Now he drew this outline around it, but I didn't. I don't think that was correct, and I'll show you what I came up with in a second here. Okay. This is what I'm seeing right here. I drew an outline around it. You can't. There's the outline that I drew around what I'm seeing. You see? I'm going to go back and forth here. There you see. I'm seeing an eye here. I'm seeing an eye here. I'm seeing this is the top of the head. Now he expanded it to up here. Like he had his eyes here. But here's something I've talked about before that I believe was happening. You know, these creatures were using some sort of cloaking technology or ability or something, and in some instances they're stacked one in front of the other, and I think that's what's happening here. You're seeing the top of the head of another one that's standing behind this one right here. And also he points out that it looks like there's something right here too, a smaller one perhaps right here. But you look at that, there's there's an eye here, right here, right here. Let me go back and forth now to the outline around it. Whoop. Right there. There's the outline around it. Let me go back and forth so you could get a better idea what I'm seeing. You see this? I know. See, a lot of people are having trouble with this. Now, these are harder to see. Now, these are just newer discoveries, or maybe I just wasn't made aware of them, and Sean knew about them for a while, and maybe some other people knew about them for a while. But I did not know about these until this one here, until Sean pointed it out to me. And this is really interesting. And again, I think there could be one, we might be seeing the top of a head of one behind it, and this could be an eye here and an eye there. But this one right here this was when they were getting chased out of the yard by something else, and right before the one that showed up above the fence and all that stuff. Okay, and that's, yeah. So there's this one, and then here's another one that he sent me. Like this was near that same area. Like you could see, like this is a creature here. This is you can see an eye there, an eye there. This is pretty clear, clearer than the other one. I think he enhanced the image somewhat so you could see it. But you could see again. You have to ask yourself this question: how many? This happens so many times within that 1 minute and 41 second video, and all of this stuff that I'm showing you now, this is on top of everything else that we've talked about. So you see this thing here. So, and this is near the heavy equipment. And then there was this image. This is another good one that he sent me. Look at this. Two creatures that he's pointing out here. And you can also see that black creature that I've talked about before standing right back here. This is one that Chris Lathrop was talking about, as well as myself. We've been talking about this one back here. But in the front here, look at this. You look at this big head right here hiding behind the back of the edge of the pickup truck. Again, this is more toward the second half of the video. You can see pretty clearly there's a big eye there. There's a big eye there. You can see its big head. All right, look at that. Look at that. It's hiding behind the edge of that pickup truck. And then look at, there's a little small one right here. Looks like perhaps, I think probably, for all we know, that could be UB, the undeniable backbreaker. But again, more evidence. And as we all recall, the witness stated that when the object landed in the yard, he heard what sounded like thousands of footsteps running off in all different directions. And the more you look at this video, the more you find it's loaded. Like one of my subscribers, Fred Bowen, said recently, it's the gift that keeps on giving. The more you look in this, the more you find things. Now, Sean indicated that he had given this a rest for a little while, and then he went back with fresh eyes, and that's something you have to do sometimes, I believe. That's a good course of action. And obviously, it was a good course of action, because look at the fruits of his labor and the fruits of waiting for a little while. Now we have this. Additional evidence to add on to the pile that we already have. So you have to remember, all of this stuff what we're talking about here today, this is in addition to all these other things that we've been talking about. We're talking about the creature that chased them. This is in addition to the creature that chased them out of the yard. This is in addition to the face that appears above the fence. This is in addition to the little creature, UB, the undeniable backbreaker, who shows pokes his head up and then it vanishes somehow. And this is in addition to the beings that this, the one in the background there, with the big head standing right in front of that front loader. In addition to all of these things, and there's so much more. And I'm not even going to bring them all up here today, but there's so much stuff, so much evidence in this video. That it just cannot be denied. Again, when you take in the totality of the evidence, it just becomes undeniable. And here, this even further cements it. It further cements the reality of what happened in Las Vegas last year. These additional captures, these additional discoveries. So I want to say to Sean Catlin, thank you very much for pointing this out. I think it's fascinating, absolutely fascinating, no question about it. Some creatures were in that yard last year. There is absolutely no question about it whatsoever, and we have the evidence now. So when you look at what we have with regard to evidence, and you think about what's going on in New Jersey, is there a tie? Is that somehow tied together? I brought up the idea yesterday that, it was brought up long before that, but we talked about the possibility that it was the military caused that craft to come down in Vegas. Is the military trying to prevent something from happening on the East Coast right now? Perhaps, because we know this is a real phenomenon. We know these things are real. I know there's a lot of people out there that are wondering if it's real or not. There's no wondering here. There's absolutely nothing to wonder about anymore. We have the absolute proof. It's undeniable. It's undeniable, right? So we know that we're not alone. There's some sort of non-human intelligence among us on this planet, and they may have a hand in what's happening right now on the East Coast, because our government officials have absolutely no answers, and we know that these things exist. We know that they exist because we see the evidence. We have the evidence now. We know for a fact. There's no more guesswork here. There's something here. End of story, period. No doubt about it. Okay, I guess we're going to go to the recent, yesterday's Spotify poll. We'll find out where things are at with that right now. Okay, the question, or this was for the episode, a top secret war between the United States and aliens might explain the New Jersey drone mystery. I asked this question: would there be mass panic if the title of this episode turned out to be the reality of the situation? Now, I did not look at the results of this so far, so I'm interested to see what they say. Oh, wow, it's almost tied. 31 votes. 15 people, or 48.4%, say no, while 16 people, or 51.6%, say yes. Would there be mass panic if the title of this episode, well, the title of the episode, by the way, is a top secret war might be ongoing between the United States and aliens, and that explains the Jersey drone mystery. I say no. I don't think there will be mass panic. There'd be some panic, not mass panic. There'd be like individual cases here and there. It'd be just spread out a little bit, but we that would be about it. There'll be some people totally freaking out. Some people who are extremely religious with fundamentalist Christians, for instance. There might be some in that group that might freak out and think that we're being invaded by demons from hell. That might happen. You're definitely going to hear that. You're hearing it. I hear it already with some people out there. I already hear stuff like that. So that might happen. But no, I don't think so. I don't think there'll be mass panic. A little bit of panic for some people on an individual basis, depending on who you are. Some of the debunkers you'll probably never hear from them again. Once there's, if there, which I don't think is going to happen, but I think if there was ever an official acknowledgement, you're going to see the absolute disappearance of some of the debunkers out there, some of these deniers, right? You're going to see them just completely like vanish from the internet. You're not going to hear from some of them anymore whatsoever. Mick West is right now the biggest debunker of our age. He's all over Twitter constantly. It's a plane. Oh, it's a helicopter. He's finding prosaic explanations for everything that's posted online with regard to the New Jersey sightings right now. He's probably right about a lot of it too. I mean, some of them look like planes. Some of the stuff I've seen, right? Some things look like a helicopter, right? Some things look like drones. He might be right that some of these things do have prosaic explanations. But the problem is that there's all these drones and they have the ability to hover, a lot of them, for 6 or 7 hours in the air, and no one's saying whose they are. No one knows whose they are. The federal government says it's not theirs. They tell us that it's not some enemy country, right? Apparently it's not hobbyists. Then who the hells are they? Like I suggested yesterday, it could absolutely be the secret control group doing it could be some psyop maybe. Who knows? There's so much. In fact, there was a lot more comments are still filling in from yesterday's episode about this. There was a lot more comments, and one of these I'm going to go over some of those comments. There's a lot of lengthy ones. In an upcoming show, I'll talk about some more theories that people are putting out there, because the theories are just, all kinds of theories. But you know what? Here's the thing. Any one of them could be right. We just don't know. This is incredible that we're going through this right now. No one has any answers whatsoever. Until someone shoots one of these things down, maybe, if that's something that's in the cards in the future, maybe we'll figure that out. But if you would have to imagine they have to think that the federal government, if there was some sort of a major concern, that they would be acting differently. They're acting like there's, local law enforcement's looking into it. It just seems like this laissez-faire kind of attitude from them. That tells me that they probably know more than what they're saying. Or they know they don't know enough. They know that maybe there is some faction with the government that they can't talk about. They're not supposed to even know about, and they can't say anything about it. And some of them might have ideas that they have something to do with this, but they can't say anything. I don't know if we're ever going to find out, folks. I really don't know. But like I said, I am going to travel to Jersey tomorrow, and I'll poke around and see if there's anything I could come up with, and I'm sure I'll be posting something tomorrow at some point, and we'll see we'll see what happens. I don't know. All we could do is follow it and see if there's ever going to be a conclusion to it. I mean, at some point, right, either this flap is going to come to a conclusion and no one's ever going to have any answers whatsoever, or is it just going to continue like this, for God knows how long? We have no idea. Everything's all speculation. All we can do is speculate. But one thing is clear, folks, and that is that we are definitely not alone, and there could be NHI/extraterrestrials that are partly behind this, or who knows, maybe completely behind it. We have no idea if that's the case, but we do know this, is that there is something here. There's no doubt about it, absolutely no question about it. We have the proof that shows that we're not alone. So that's what could be behind those New Jersey drone sightings. They could be part of the reason why those drones are up in the air. It either could be them, it could be some sort of a deterrent against them. It could have something to do with that. It really could, because we're not getting any answers, and that's all we could do is try to come up with our own theories, and that's it. Anyway, I just want to say this. I want to say thank you all for joining me today. Until next time.